Guys, 70 million Igbos are demanding for a new nation. They are demanding for Biafra. Thank God for the Secretary General of the United Nations, which is Antonio Guterres. That man is a man who likes to listen to the voice of the oppressed. He likes to listen to the voice of oppressed. So that's why I keep telling the indigenous people of Biafra, now that this man is still on seat, now that Antonio Guterres is still the Secretary General of the United Nations, they should make use of that opportunity well to make sure that they get Biafra. Because once that man step out, it's going to be difficult for the indigenous people of Biafra to get Biafra again. So guys, let's keep this thing running. Let me be telling you guys the reason why the indigenous people of Biafra are looking for a new nation called Biafra. So guys, just stay with me to the end of this video. The United Nations is watching closely. The world is on the brink of witnessing a new nation emerge. As I speak to you now, the time is ripe. A moment for a people ready to claim their independence boldly, with courage, determination, and unity. A nation that is ready, not just physically, but spiritually and morally. A nation that embodies the very essence of statehood, possessing all the qualities needed to be recognized as a true nation in the eyes of the world. A nation united by a shared way of life and bound together by the struggles of yesteryears. A nation that has been oppressed, disenfranchised in its own parent nation, yet stands ready to walk the walk toward freedom, sovereignty, and the destiny it has long been denied. The goal is clear: to achieve the referendum. The nation the world has been waiting for is Biafra. I say this as a woman of conviction because I will not stand by and watch another nation take our rightful place on the global stage. I am not prepared to let that happen. Aside from Biafra, many things have just achieved independence at this moment in time, and yet, in today's world, population-wise, we are the largest indigenous people without our own sovereignty. In the Igbo, our people, we are like 60 million scattered across the globe, with 40 to 45 million residing right here in Nigeria. The time for recognition is now. There are countries in the world today with populations not even reaching 500,000, some not even 200,000. Okay, let's take for instance St. Lucia, a fully sovereign nation. It has fewer than 3,000 people, and there are others I won't mention right now. So I am telling you, if there has ever been a time to stake our claim for independence, that time is now. Britain took 3 giant nations, squeezed them into a single pot because of the oil they discovered, and simply declared it a country, as it has always been. The path has never been easy. The quest for Biafra has remained strong since the days of Ojukwu, driven by decades of systematic violence, ethnic cleansing, and the relentless disenfranchisement of the Igbo people. Nobody is talking about it. Recently, Nnamdi Kanu reignited the spirit of Biafra by calling for a peaceful referendum, reminding the world that our quest for self-determination is alive and unwavering. Biafra was arrested, kidnapped. In fact, Nnamdi Kanu was arrested, kidnapped, and was held in the dungeon for years. In fact, this is making it 10 years since he was kidnapped and kept in DSS custody for so many years. Yet, as we speak, countless pro-Biafran groups and individuals continue to press forward, unwavering in the quest of Biafran's freedom and self-determination. Now, a president like Antonio Guterres, a president who stands boldly for the rights of oppressed people around the world, and he will be proud, he will rejoice to see some of these oppressed nations finally gain their independence. The balance within the United Nations has been upscaled, and many superpowers recognize the need for new nations to reduce inequality and give the UN a greater sense of balance and fairness, especially considering the lopsided influence of certain countries and voting blocs. When it comes to international relations and global governance, there is a pressing need for new countries in the UN. After all, the UN has agencies tasked with monitoring human rights violations and addressing legitimate claims from people seeking independence. My answer is simple. Amina Mohammed is a staff member of the United Nations. She's a staff, not a decision maker. So just like I always say that the 70 million people are asking for a new Biafra. They're asking for Biafra. 70 million people, which are the Igbos, they are asking for Biafra. They're asking for a new nation. You see, we are the most populated When it comes, the Ndi Igbo are the most populated when it comes to Nigeria. Now, the struggle for Biafra isn't new. It is rooted in decades of oppression, marginalization, and systematic exclusion. Past Biafran leaders like Ojukwu laid the foundation for today's movement. The fight for justice and sovereignty continues. The Nigerian state has historically used force to suppress self-determination, showing that the path to independence requires both the courage and global awareness. The Ndi Igbo people are one of the most populous indigenous groups in the world without a recognized nation. With 60 million people globally, including 40 to 45 million in Nigeria, the population alone justifies what recognition. Other sovereign nations exist with populations far smaller than Biafra, proving that population size alone can't justify denial of independence. Many superpowers now support the idea of creating new nations to balance the United Nations voting power. New countries can help address inequality, create fairer representation, and prevent monopolization of global influence by a few nations. UN agencies are obligated to consider human rights violation and legitimate independence claims. Biafra qualifies on both counts. Biafra is rich in resource, especially oil, which makes it a strategic player in global energy markets. Recognizing Biafra could stabilize regional economies and create new trade partnerships. The world needs to engage with emerging nations like Biafra to prevent conflict and promote prosperity. Diaspora communities worldwide are amplifying the call for Biafra's independence. Peaceful advocacy and referendums strengthen the legitimacy of Biafra's claim internationally. Prominent voices and leaders supporting oppressed people worldwide can accelerate recognition for Biafra. Biafra represents a distinct culture, language, and a way of life, making it a true nation in the anthropological word sense. Independence would allow the preservation and flourishing of Igbo tradition, art, and education. A sovereign Biafra would empower its people to govern themselves according to their moral and cultural value. The world is watching. Delays in recognition risk leaving millions disenfranchised. The time to act is now. Global political conditions are more favorable than ever for independence. Every day without recognition is a reminder of injustice and missed opportunity for peace and prosperity. So we want what? A new nation. We want Biafra. There are many examples or many places where small populations have successfully gained independence. Biafra meets every criteria for legitimacy. The international community has increasingly accepted referendums and self-determination as valid path for nationhood. Recognition of Biafra would set a precedent for other oppressed people seeking freedom around the world. Decades of disenfranchisement, marginalization, and oppression give Biafra a strong moral claim to independence. International law supports the right of people to self-determination when they face systematic violation. Justice delayed is justice denied. Biafra's case is urgent and long overdue. Recognizing Biafra can reduce internal conflicts and prevent further bloodshed in the region. Independence allows Britain to establish its own governance, law enforcement, and peaceful democratic institutions. The world benefits when nations solve disputes peacefully rather than through prolonged oppression. A sovereign Biafra could manage its resources efficiently and drive regional development. Independence opens doors for foreign investment and trade partnership. With a responsible and accountable government, economic self-determination ensures that the wealth of the region benefits its own people, not external powers. Millions of Igbo people abroad are advocating for Biafra, creating global awareness and international pressure. Diaspora support brings both financial backing and diplomatic influence for the independence movement. Global network amplify the voices of oppressed communities and bring legitimacy to the cause. Cultural and identity preservation. Independence ensures that the Igbo language, education, and traditions are preserved for future generations. A sovereign Biafra can teach its history accurately and promote national pride without censorship. Cultural identity strengthens national unity and gives people a sense of belonging. Biafra occupies a strategic position in West Africa with access to trade routes and the Atlantic. International powers may support Biafra to balance influence in the region and foster world stability. Sovereignty allows Biafra to negotiate as an equal player in global world politics. Global attention is rising. Now is the moment to push for recognition. Waiting longer risks losing what momentum and international what sympathy. The world is ready to witness a new nation that has endured decades of struggle. Yes, we are waiting for a new nation that has endured decades of struggle for a very long time. Not now, but in so many years, Igbos have been struggling. Biafra has a documented history of self-governance before colonial imposition. The first measure by Britain ignored the culture, the linguistic and political differences of the people. The memory of the Biafran struggle in the 1967 to 1970 war remains alive and fuels the immoral case of independence. Biafra has maintained its identity despite decades of assimilation, pressures and suppression. Now, suppression. A sovereign Biafra can establish a government truly by the people, for the people. Independency allows the creation of institutions that reflect local values, justice and accountability. Citizens can participate fully in governance, unlike under the current system where they are marginalized. Localized governance reduces corruption by giving people control over their resources. So guys, all we want is a new nation, and we require it now. That's all we have for today. And also guys, if you know you're new to this channel, or if you're just coming across this my channel for the first time, please do well by clicking the subscribe button and turning on the notification button to get all the latest news in this channel. Don't forget that we use this platform to agitate for the release of Nnamdi Kanu and to tell the world that this man is innocent. So please do well to type in the comment section free Nnamdi Kanu and also justice. Please do what's up in the comment section free Nnamdi Kanu. So guys, that's all we have for today. See you guys again in my next video.